Alrighty, welcome back artistic ladies and gentlemen to another Fun Fridays episode in this Pokémon TCG Online series where we take a look at fun and silly deck ideas. I hope you are having a nice day. If not, well, then I hope I can brighten up your... Trainer Puma is challenging us to battle, or Trainer Pumax is challenging us to battle with Darkness, Colorless and Water deck. Can we go first? Nope, it is a Tails. Alright, I think my opponent is going to choose to go first, so I'm gonna prepare myself mentally here to go second. Hopefully we can find ourselves a complete Shiftry line and a first of Giant Plants in our first turn, as well as a DCE, so we can start attacking in our first turn. What do we start off with? It all depends on this hand, and it is, it's an okay hand. We have a Seedot, we have a Sycamore for draw support, we don't have a first of Giant Plants, and we don't have a Nuzleaf. Those two cards are missing. A mulligan from my opponent with 2 Super Rods and a Team Aqua Secret Base. Alright, interesting. Oh, another mulligan. There's a Super Rod again and a Hammer. Wow, that is curious. I wonder what that means. What could we be up against? Darkness, Colorless and Water. Maybe Yveltal, because my opponent does play DCEs and Darkness Energies. But then again, why is he playing Team Aqua Secret Base Super Rods here and hammers? That is kind of curious. Maybe it is some sort of disruption deck. We will see soon enough here, hopefully, as soon as my opponent puts his Pokemon in the X spot. Come on, Pumax, throw that Pokeball in the X spot and release your Pokemon so we can have a nice battle. Otherwise, I think I might just fall asleep here while I'll wait. A few moments later. Oh, I'm so sorry, I fell asleep. But my opponent took so long to find his basic Pokemon, well over 2 minutes, nearly 3 minutes to find that Lugia or to promote that Lugia. But at last, there it is, so we can start this battle. The big question is, does he play any other attackers besides Lugia? Does he play the Yveltal after all? It is definitely still a possibility. We will, when we start, oh, there is the Crawdons and energy on the Lugia, so Crawdons, or Crowfish can evolve into Crawdons. We will attach our DCE to our Seedot here. We will Ultra Ball away a Judge and a Lysandre, grab ourselves a Nuzleaf, yes, or maybe Seedot, not Nuzleaf, what am I saying, because we don't have the first of Giant Plants, so let's grab the Seedot, then let's discard our hand with our Sycamore. I could have discarded Shiftry with my Ultra Ball and then Super Rod it back, but we might find a Revitalizer at some point. There's the first of Giant Plants, no Nuzleaf, no Shiftrys, that's a bummer. We do have our Shaymin here, we could find an Ultra Ball and a Nuzleaf or something, that would be nice. But we don't, so we will have to pass our turn and potentially let this Seedot go down. That is a little bit unfortunate. If we get knocked out, at least we put 60 on the Lugia. But I would have loved to see us attack here with our Shiftry. So 1 Shiftry in our discard pile, 2 Judge there. We also have access to a Lysandre already. We do see a Trainers Mail from my opponent for a VS Seeker, alright. VS Seeker, oh, Enhanced Hammer, discarding our DCE. We have 2 more DCEs in our hand and a pass onto our turn. Does not knock us out. We will attach another DCE. We will go for the end. Don't want to discard this many resources. Can we find ourselves our Nuzleaf? And yes, we do. Amazing. Alright, so at least we can evolve into our Nuzleaf. Then we will red card my opponent, bring his hand down to 4 cards instead of those 6 cards that he's having right now. And then we will Shaymin and look for our Shiftry. Come on, Shiftry, where are you? Reveal yourselves. I think we've got more Ultra Balls here to find it. And there is our Revitalizer. Excellent. Alright, glad I kept that Shiftry in my discard pile. So here is our Shiftry. We have a Bursting Balloon as well, so we can, there's a Bursting Balloon. And then we have 4 cards in our hand, which is exactly the same as my opponent. So we can hit for 120 with the Extrasensory attack. Everything worked out here in this turn. This was a very nice turn. My opponent can attack us, but if he does, he will knock himself out, so I think he will not attack us. Could find the Groudon for to evolve into the Groudon as well from the Corphish. Groudon has got the Unruly Claw ability. There's Trainers Mail. Unruly Claw discards an energy from the active Pokemon, which means he could discard our DCE if he evolves into Groudon. There we do see a Sycamore, so he can Sycamore his hand away. Our red card did not really help there. Discards energy, discards V-Seeker, which is good. Can he find his Groudons? And there's the Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball could find him the Groudon, discarding a Lysandre and a Mega Catcher. That is interesting indeed. Cards that actually has really quite some use here in the current meta because of all the people playing Mega Pokemon at the moment. You do see a Bunnelby as well, and there is Groudon discarding our DCE from our Shiftry. So now we need to find another DCE. That might be a little bit difficult for us. We only have 2 more DCEs in our deck. Retreats into the Groudon as well. Pass on to our turn. And there's our DCE. Oh my goodness. That was an amazing top deck. Let's attach the DCE. Let's attach the Floatstone. And then that's it for the Extrasensory for the knockout. Because we've got 3 cards in our hand. Same as our opponent. Don't want a Sycamore, because that would make it difficult for us to bring our hand down back to 3 cards. Or back down to 3 cards. We do find an energy from the prizes, which is excellent. A DCE there on the Bunnelby. So we have 1 more DCE left in our deck. Please be a Tails. Oh my goodness, it's a Tails. That was really needed, because otherwise we would have needed to find our last DCE in our deck. So my opponent can Burrow here, or he can Rototiller. He has got 2 options. V-Seeker for a Sycamore. That is the 2nd Sycamore in a row. That's definitely good for my opponent. Discards an Ultra Ball. Can he find maybe another Corphish? Maybe another Bunnelby? There's another Bunnelby. Because we can knock out this Bunnelby if my opponent does not discard our DCE, regardless of how many cards we have in hands. Because Bunnelby only has 60 HP, and our base damage is 60, so we can one-shot this Bunnelby, whether or not we have the same amount of cards in hand as our opponent. He is going to... he's going to Rototiller. Rototiller's back the Enhanced Hammer into his deck, and another Rototiller then for another hammer or something. He is going to attempt to discard all of our energies here. There is a Crushing Hammer indeed. Alright, pass on to our turn. I will attach to the active Shiftry. I will Floatstone another Shaymin, and then we will Sycamore our hand away. We need as many energies on our active Shiftry as we can. A DC for the next turn. There's a Nuzleaf as well. And I think I'm gonna leave it at this. We are going to preserve our resources, hit for the Extrasensory for 60, for 120 actually, because by coincidence we have the same amount of cards in our hand as our opponents. I wasn't really aiming for that, but it is always nice if we can do it, so that was definitely good for us there. That 120 damage. Can we maybe Lysandre the Lugia at some point? And can we preserve our energies? That's the big question here. If my opponent finds an Enhanced Hammer and finds a Crushing Hammer to flip ahead, then he can discard all of our energies, and that would set us back quite a bit. Although we can attach a DCE there, but that would be our last DCE until we find our Special Charge. And hopefully my opponent does not discard our Special Charge with a Burrow from the Bunnelby. There's another Bunnelby with a Repeat Ball. He also got a Sycamore before that, so he can Sycamore his hand away. 3rd Sycamore in a row here, discarding a puzzle. Alright, he's playing puzzles. He has got plenty, or he's got 3 V-Seekers in his discard pile. That's indeed plenty of V-Seekers. There's an Enhanced Hammer, there's a Crushing Hammer, and it is a head. No! Oh, we went from heaven to hell here. All of our energies in our discard pile. That was an amazing turn from my opponent. There we do see the puzzle of time. So that is one less puzzle my opponent will be able to use, which is definitely good. The least puzzles he can use, or the less puzzles he can use, the better. Discards Trainers Mail. I'm fine with that, as long as it does not discard our Special Charge. And there's a Lysandre. Alright, that's okay by me, or that's fine by me. Let's attention our DC. Let's maybe Ultra Ball something away, find another Shiftry or something. Yes, so we can then hopefully find our Special Charge. I don't want to discard too many cards because of the burrows from my opponents, but I do need to thin out my deck a little bit to try to find the Special Charge. We will N or Judge. I think I might just go for the Judge because my opponent has got 3 cards in hand. I don't want to give him 6 cards with the N, so we are just going to go for the Judge here. And we get a VS Seeker for the next turn. but nothing else. So let's simply hit for the knockout here for 120 damage. Can we find our special charge in the next turn? There's an energy, a gross energy, always good to get from the prizes when you're up against a disruption deck like my opponents. The more energies, the better. The more energies, the happier I am. There's a crushing hammer, and it is... Oh, it is a tails, that's good. And never mind, there is the unruly claw, discarding that DCE. It doesn't matter whether the hammer failed. He had the Crawdont in hand, and the Super Rod is going to shuffle back Bunnelby, and a Darkness Energy, so he can keep on milling us. Burrow for Trainers Mail, alright, another Trainers Mail, and another Burrow for an N. Alright, we do need to find our special charge right here. I will attach the energy, and I think I will go for the Sycamore because my opponent has left himself with one card in hand. He might be stuck with a bad hand here, so I'm gonna risk it. This is very risky because my opponent could deck us out here if he's gonna Sycamore his hand and can refill his hand, but I think he's stuck with a bad hand, so we are going to risk this and hopefully find our special charge right here. And there it is! We did find it. We are not going to use it because we will use the Eco Arm to shuffle back our Bursting Balloons, but I'm not going to use the special charge. We'll knock out this Bunnelby. The reason, we will do 40 to it. The reason I'm not going to use it is because the Bunnelby here stays alive and could discard our DCEs if we shuffle them back right now, which would be very unfortunate. So we are going to hang on to this special charge until my opponent does not have a Bunnelby in the active spot anymore, discards a Forest of Giant Plants, and discards Nuzleaf. Alright, that's okay. Let's see, we get a Bursting Balloon. Let's attach another energy. Let's hit for the knockout here for 40 damage. Preserve the rest of our cards for now. There's no need to use a special charge at the moment. And now my opponent does not have any Bunnelbys in play, and he does seem to be stuck with a bad hand, so I think it was the right move there for me to simply go for the Sycamore, because if he had gone for an N or a Judge, he could have gotten a much better hand. This hammer fails, that's okay, and a pass on to our turn. And now we will hit for the Extrasensory for 60, and then in the next turn I think I might use my special charge to fill up my deck a little bit, so we don't deck out if my opponent all of a sudden gets out a Bunnelby and burrows us. Yes, I think we will do that. Let's use the special charge. There's another energy. Let's shuffle back the DCEs, and I think we've got the game here. All we need to do is knock out this Lugia and we take the game. And there it is. There is the victory. My opponent concedes the game. That was very scary there for a moment when he discarded all of my energies. That was definitely scary. We dealt 620 damage. Shiftry MVP versus no one. I hope you have a truly characteristic day, and I will see you next time with another episode in this Pokemon TCG Online series.
Karp, 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 Karp.